22 years between Crash 3 and its sequel Crash Bandicoot 4. That's enough time for someone to be born and go through life and graduate college. A familiar game in so many ways, but rethought, reshaped, restructured, and reimagined in a way that makes old school difficulty fun again. Welcome to completion number 27 of the Potato Backlog project, started in January 2023 to help me break from the shackles of modern day gaming and FOMO. For more information, check the description below. Fresh off of my insane trilogy completion, I went into Crash 4 expecting more of the same. Kind of thought it'd be a boring rehash of sorts, but I ended up being blown away, pleasantly surprised. So stick around to the end of the video for the juicier than 100 Wumpas Taterator, and let's talk about Crash Bandicoot, It's About Time. It's not often a franchise gets a sequel 22 years after the last mainline entry within the video game realm. Probably even more rare would be having that game be the new pinnacle of the series. Most of the time you'll get safe, rehashed ideas, zero innovation or willingness to push the series further and think outside the box. It's usually a safe money grab for a studio to use a familiar old franchise and not take any unnecessary risks within the final product. Crash 4 is not a lazy money grab. This is a full-on continuation of the mainline series. This game takes everything that came before it and makes it all better. Everything. Story, controls, characters, content, level design, visuals, gameplay mechanics, everything. Building upon familiarity and nostalgia, but then also slapping it in the face and bringing brand new ideas and mechanics into the fold. This is a well thought out, well crafted, very well designed game that deserves your attention and will earn your love and praise. So let's talk about the game's difficulty. This is a sequel, so I will be comparing it to what came before, mostly to the Insane Trilogy, the remaster of the original 3. My biggest gripe with the remaster was the reason the games were difficult. It came down to bad level design and bad character control. The game never felt like it rewarded me for learning how to get better at playing it. It was built with player failure in mind. It was patience over skill and learning, and it just wasn't fun to play. Crash 4's learning curve and overall game design fixes all of this. Right from the first level, it purposefully eases you into the game assuming you've never played a Crash game in your life. The levels are designed to continually teach you how to play and in a way train you to learn how to be better at the game. It does this in a way that's fun, not right in your face, and gradual enough that you're never overwhelmed by anything. New mechanics are introduced at a good pace, and without you really knowing that it's happening, you're leveling up as you go. This allows the game to expand its level design, try new weird and difficult things. It lets the game challenge you because it knows you will be prepared for it. This is how platformers like this should work. The care, thought, and testing that went into developing the levels, the learning curve, and making sure it was fun to play all the way through. I just can't say enough good things about the game design. Players' success and overall experience was front of mind with the design and development of this game. This is that good kind of difficult. You're given an option at the beginning between modern and retro. This isn't a game difficulty selection, it's a choice on how lives will work for you within the game. Retro is the traditional game over when you lose all your lives, and modern is an actual death counter, with the game rewarding you for the times you clear levels with less deaths. The modern option was so refreshing to me. Finally a developer that kind of gets it. This isn't the coin-op days where you need someone to continually fail so they put another quarter into the machine. They've already given you the money, give them a great fun experience. Too much repetition can frustrate players and take away from all the good that you've built. Let's imagine spending 10 to 15 minutes on a really difficult section. You finally get it, you finally complete it, you're elated, the dopamine rush has you riding super high, and you feel really good about yourself and what you just accomplished. Only to die like a minute later, and then you have to restart the entire level all over again. This time it takes you 5 to 10 minutes to beat the section, but the rush is gone, and now you're left being annoyed. You die again a minute later, time to repeat it all over again. How you would feel after that versus finally beating that section, but getting to continue from the checkpoint you got after the difficult section without worrying about running out of lives and doing it all over again. You're still riding high off that situation of completing it, but you aren't deterred to continue on. You want the next challenge, and you welcome it. For me, I like the balance they found between old school difficulty and respecting the player's time while rewarding their accomplishments. Some players do like the old school challenge of limited lives, and the game offering both options without compromising the base game difficulty or rewards is a great feat, and something I wasn't expecting to find within this game. Story is something that was lacking in the original trilogy. It was all very surface level and not very involved. Granted, it was a platformer from the 90s, and story wasn't always the main focus back then. Things have changed though, and gamers expect a little more from the game story nowadays. Crash 4 manages a much more in-depth and involved narrative. There's some fun, wacky time dimensional distortion stuff going on, and it all kind of relates back to the original trilogy. The voice acting and pacing is all really great, and there are enough interesting things happening to keep you invested and entertained. I like the old characters that were brought back, and I also like the new characters that I had never seen before. But the strongest thing the developers did here was tie story elements and character introductions into the gameplay itself. Finding out I would be able to use other characters besides Crash was a pleasant surprise. They all controlled a little bit different and had their own special abilities. This kept things fresh and injected excitement into the game at the perfect times. This added another variety to the gameplay that I didn't even know was in the game. They even tied newly introduced gameplay mechanics to the new mask characters that were introduced in the story. Lazy design would have made the mask just something else for you to collect. An icon on the screen where the numbers just go up. But here you get brand new abilities from the masks as you progress and collect them, while simultaneously advancing the story in the game itself. The mask abilities open up new design possibilities for the levels, and that's one of the things that really helps this game stand out on its own from the original trilogy. Controls in this game were refined and precise. The biggest win here is a small yellow circle under Crash to help you judge depth while moving backwards and forwards in your platforming. Combine this visual aid with well-built levels, polished controls, well thought out character abilities, and you have one of the best feeling platformers out there. Not just the best Crash Bandicoot game, this is one of the best platformers released in a long time period. This game is so fun to play, I feel like I should have heard more praise about it. After completing the game, I did a little reading, and the biggest complaint I was seeing from around the launch window was the price of the game itself. This was a full-priced game at launch, and people felt that it was too much. It's unfortunate this was the case because this is a full package offering. It's so jam-packed with things to do, it will take you a long time to complete and unlock everything. A platformer like this is designed for replayability and collection completion. On top of everything they packed in here, they even managed to squeeze a couple couch co-op multiplayer options in as well. This for me is quality AAA game content. Absolutely worth the full game price. There's nothing paywalled here, no nickel and diming, and that's a rare thing for a release in the 2020s. 5 surprised happy potato faces out of 5. I did not expect to love this game so much. I honestly didn't expect much going into this game. To have it deliver the experience that it did, to feel like a classic, but modernized and improved in all the right ways, to continue a beloved franchise in a meaningful and quality way, I just love a game that can shock and surprise me like that and deliver an experience that was well worth my time. And with that, the Backlog project rolls on. Thank you for watching. Be kind to yourselves and others that deserve it. We're on to the next one. Welcome to completion number 27 of the... So stick around to the end of the video for the juicier than 100... Alright, I don't know way... I don't know way... Excitement. A game that's familiar and...